I always leave it to you. Don't have to do the
Was
little
that good?
intro.
Try mixing it up with a bit of trumpet, you know? Is that realistic trumpet? It's The Ride Companion. Episode number 82. We did have a guest, and the guest disappeared.
The guest disappeared.
So now they've just left you and I in an echoey room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Does it sound echoey? Yeah.
A little. It does now. We've hit record. I hope the studio sounds better than this. Imagine if we do that and it's just like the worst place. It just sounds so shit.
So true. So I've moved into a room in the new house.
Dog kennel.
It's amazing how much it echoes because it's just an empty room. It's got some tools in it, and then it's just an empty room. So I look like I'm in one of those hostage negotiations rooms, don't I?
Yeah, it does. It's just a bit more. It's like a Where's Ollie kind of vibe. Where and you're like, where are you? And you go, oh, I'm in some like little hut somewhere in some crazy country, and we're worried about the internet, which actually seems to be working really good, so that's nice. So
got internet, got fibre optic. That's all that's changed.
Ooh.
So I can get back amongst my YouTube career. We can start recording echoey podcasts. Brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant, fantastic. Stick with us, folks. It's not going to be too bad, this one. I mean, it'll be all right. I think we'll get through it.
Oh, mate, it'll be fine.
So what room are you in? What room is it? Because I've obviously done the grand tour of the house. Whereabouts
are you?
Grand
tour. It's it's funny just because the rooms have nothing in them upstairs because we haven't got carpet down.
Okay, still waiting for the carpet.
With the echo a load. But so I've just put my desk and my computer in an empty room.
Nice.
I mean,
minimalist.
I have no link to any of these rooms. You know, you live in such a small part of where a building site, don't you? Like, why would I go in here unless I'm like painting? Yeah,
doing something.
Doing something. Yeah. So it's quite weird being in here now and imagining it filled with stuff. But one day it will be, and it won't be echoed.
It will be. It will be. It'll be filled with stuff really, really soon. It must be nice, man. You're finally starting to make the real switch over, aren't we?
Exactly. Finally, don't have to go up the hill and do this and that. Yeah. And I've actually got the lads working on the gas in the kitchen at the minute. We're moving one step closer to being off a camping stove.
Oh, mate, it's all coming together.
It's coming together.
It's fantastic.
I've not hated camping stove life.
Really?
Should we start with this?
What's the best
update?
The best. Yeah, please. Yeah, let's start with an update.
Yeah, because people have followed the journey. I feel like it's something that people do. People have done themselves, so they feel your pain, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like renovating a house is it doesn't sound as bad as it sort of is a lot of the time when you have barely any stuff. So we don't have a washing machine at the minute, and we don't have a dishwasher.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, there you go. It actually does. Yeah. I got a kitchen for free from a house that was having it ripped out. So it's a second-hand kitchen. And obviously with that came a cooker, a dishwasher, and the cooker was a giant microwave. The dishwasher, I turned it on, water all over the floor. So the dishwasher's got to go. I've just bought a new dishwasher.
Nice.
And that's going in today. So we're going to be dishwashing again. I believe in dishwashers.
You jokingly did say about doing 2 dishwashers in the new house. Is that still a thing, or is it? Yes, is the budget not?
Room.
Okay.
They're not really much money, dishwashers, and I'd love to just have 2 dishwashers, but
it's a great idea.
It is, isn't it? Have you got a dishwasher?
Nah.
Really separates people, dishwasher.
The hands, yeah. Again, we just don't have space. Like we don't have space for it. I'd love one, mate. I hate washing pots. Do I hate washing pots? No, I don't mind washing pots. You know. Yeah. Sometimes I do like these deep washers, which is really sad. It's really sad, actually. I'll do a deep. What?
Do you have a bath with the pots?
Saving money, man, on that Radox. Get some fairy liquid in there. All the washing liquids are available. No, man, I'll do these deep washers where I'll be like, right, I'm going to spend an hour just washing all the pots and pans, and I'll like scrub them with the Brillo pad, and I'll like really get all the stuff off. It's really sad, but I kind of enjoy it. I do like washing pots, you know. I'll throw my headphones on, I'll put some funky music on, something loud, and I'll just crack on and just wash some pots.
See, your angle doesn't sound like I've noticed when you talk to people, it's like something that splits people, dishwashers, because some people are really against them, as in like they think it's an important part of your day to do the dishes. And I do hear you, but then also I feel like you waste loads of water. I don't know I don't know, but
I'd say so. I still always fill the bowl, no matter even if I've got 2 plates to wash or 1 fork or a whole, like everything in the cupboard needs washing. I'll still fill that bowl to the brim, always, and I'll always fill the plug hole up with bits of food, which is always quite nice, isn't it? You know, take the plug hole out, put it in the bin. It feels quite nice.
And then you just
I don't
have the
know,
hot
man.
tap running and do the final wash
Nah,
under the hot tap.
I leave them with. I like all our food to taste like fairy liquid apple. Yeah, I really like that. I like to leave it on there. You know, when you have a drink of tea or something, you want to feel it around the edges. You want to, oh yeah, that tastes clean.
Absolutely. I'm all up for kind of keeping things manual, etc. But dishwashing is just not something that it isn't something that I take great pride in. And if I can do something, if I can save time and just put them in a dishwasher and do something productive in that time that I've saved, I'd rather do that.
Yeah, it's a time killer for sure, mate. I don't know. It is what it is. Again, if we had space in our house, we'd definitely have a dishwasher.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a bit of a struggle at the moment with all that stuff, isn't it? I mean, we've been looking at homes again, but dude, it's another tangent we could go down, and I don't want to because I don't understand it. But the interest rate and stuff, dude, it's gnarly at the moment for people.
It is.
You know,
I've only got 2 years, and I just think I'll get to the. It's a horrible feeling, that kind of when you get.
You locked it in for 2 years, have you?
Yeah, that's all I did. And when at the time there wasn't even a suggestion that it was going to go crazy, so I would have locked it in for way longer. And they gave me the option for 5, and I just didn't bother.
Really?
I didn't bother because I was just like it put the percentage up, and I'd looked at monthly. It was quite a lot more.
Right. Oh wow. Yeah, I wish we'd locked in for a lot longer. Yeah, same, man. We're out in July. Our mortgage finishes, and it could like almost double your payment every month at the moment. It's scary.
But you can just sign up for 1 year, weather the storm, you'll be all right. It is. Everyone's in the same boat, and
yeah, that's the scary thing though, that everyone, a lot of people do live as if like both wages for a couple or something like that. If you've got kids, like. Not much money left at the end of the month, and when you think that people's mortgages might actually double or even not double but just go up a couple of £100 a month, that's a lot of money for people, man. It's really scary.
I've gone round in circles on this because obviously I'm really thinking about it. I'm hemorrhaging money trying to make the house good, so I'd never spend money normally. I live like a nun, and then it comes to this, you just have to spend loads of money. And I've gone round in circles being stressed, and it's a trap. It doesn't get you anywhere, dude. It's like the thing is, all you can do is do your best, and what happens. And I actually got comfort when I sort of when I came to that sort of conclusion. I kind of I stopped worrying. I stopped losing sleep about all the bills going out here and there. All you're doing is doing your best, and everyone's just doing their best. Everyone's trying.
Yeah. It's true, man. That's the best way to. It's the same with everything in life. You've just got to surrender to it and just do your best, and that's it.
You do.
And ultimately, it's not life or death. At the end of the day, maybe you miss a bill here and there. It doesn't matter. These people, they're not struggling, are they? These companies, it doesn't matter.
Oh, dude, exactly.
I tell you what,
you'll make it happen. Whatever happens.
I'll tell you what happened to us. I forgot to tell you actually. It's kind of funny. And I want to come back to the home renovation thing instantly after this little story, but I remember when we got rid of our TV about 4 or 5 months ago, and I remember people being like, "Oh, TV license guy's going to come round, this and that. You got to be careful." And I was thinking, what you got to be careful of? I got nothing to hide. Like, we don't have a TV. It's not like I'm hiding it or whatever. It's not like under a blanket somewhere and peeping at it, just trying to watch TV and not get caught. So on Thursday afternoon, I was just about to go out for a ride, and there's a knock on the door. I thought, oh, that's a loud knock, quite aggressive. And I answered it, and he asked if my girlfriend was in, and I said, no, she's busy in a meeting at the moment. And he said, oh, I'm from the TV licensing company. So I was like, wow, they actually do come. Crazy. Who'd have thought they actually do come round? I thought it was a myth. And just shout out to TV licensing people. He was lovely. He was the nicest guy. He was the nicest guy. He was like, I was about to go for a ride, so I was just about to push my bike through the door. And he was like, oh, is it a blip on the system, or have you actually got rid of your TV? I said, yeah, we got rid of it, man. Like, you're welcome to have a look. There's a chair there now where the TV used to be, etc. He was like, oh, that's good on you. It's great. There's nothing on it anyway. It's rubbish. And I'm like, you're right.
I think it's a great opportunity, this, for a lunch learn, because it's something that I actually have no idea about. and I don't want to pay it. So
Okay,
basically,
that's a great opportunity for
the
them to learn.
UK TV license system. So to our international listeners, the BBC is the British Broadcasting Corporation Company, something, and they historically they don't survive off advertising. It's is it somehow linked with the government? I don't know.
I'm not sure if it's somehow linked with the government. I'm not sure,
but they survive off TV licenses. So
yes.
And that's through your aerial, I believe, for the terrestrial TV. So
I believe it is.
You had 4 channels. 2 were non-advertising channels, and 3 and 4 were advertising. And you had to pay for the BBC channels. Is that correct? Would you say?
I think that's correct. But I wonder what would happen if you didn't pay your TV license, and would you also lose Channel 3, ITV as we call it, and Channel 4? I'm not sure.
Where I don't understand right now is that you can not use your aerial, you can use Wi-Fi, and you can still go on BBC iPlayer app. So the fact that you don't have a TV,
I think this is a grey area.
Yeah,
I think this is a grey area where they're just hoping people are honest.
Yeah, because no doubt
because they can't tell, like they've no idea.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
But as far as I was aware, these people come round and they actually look in your house and be like, "Oh, you have got a TV. Oh, that's naughty. You're not allowed to watch that." But they don't. They just ask, and well, this guy did. He was lovely. We had a good chat about biking on the drive as well. He was, "Oh, is that one of those electric bikes then, is it?" I was like, "Yeah, mate." And I was telling him all about Focus. It was really nice. I think we got a convert. I think he was going to head down to the local bike shop and buy a bike.
Wicked. Good.
I'm like, "Do you want to have a go on it, mate? Like, it's really fun."
Bloody mafia gangster going around collecting money off people.
Oh, yeah.
So the overview is, and it's really very simple, you need a TV license if you watch or record live TV on any channel or service, or if you use BBC iPlayer.
There you go.
So there you go.
There you go. But it's not a cheap thing to have either. You know, it's £150 a year, I think. Could you just look that up real quick, Ollie? How much is a TV license in 2023?
That's right. It is 104. No, bugger, I've lost it. It is 159.
Yeah.
So I love this as well. It's only 53 quid for black and white TV sets.
There you go.
That's the dream.
That's the dream.
I mean, that just highlights exactly what this sort of a TV license is. It's just an archaic old thing left over, isn't it? But,
and they're just hoping that people are honest, I think, now.
Yeah.
You know, ultimately they do come round. I'm pretty sure they're all lovely like this guy, but I wonder how much money people, like an average family, will spend on the TV, because so let's say if you did get a TV license, that's £159 a year, did you say?
Yeah.
So let's say you also want Netflix for the family, so that's, let's just say for argument's sake, a tenner, that's another £120, so we're already at 208.70.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got Discovery. We don't know how much that's going to cost.
£6.99 apparently. So we've got Discovery, and then you want Amazon, so you got to get that. That's another £6.99 probably.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then your favourite. You want to watch Mighty Ducks? That's on Disney Plus. Another £6.99. Okay. Oh, cool. Supercross is on. Yeah, dope, man. Yeah, you want to get Supercross pass? £9. Where does it stop?
Yeah.
Where does this stop? At least when you look back, I guess back in time, a TV license was an actual bargain. Like, you got all those channels and you didn't have to think. I guess
I avoid those monthly costs like the plague. It's so stupid.
You got it, man. You got to keep those down because you forget about them too.
It just feels out of control, even if it's a small amount of money. Like, I swan around to coffee shops buying £5 Americanos, and yet when it comes to something monthly, if it's £3, I'm like, same with apps.
Yeah.
Same with apps. If an app costs £3, I'm like, God, I'm not paying for that. But actually, it's...
Yeah, you know what? The only app I've bought recently, I'm learning to play the piano, so I bought that app, which was £90.
Nice.
And but it's, when you weigh it up, would I rather have the piano app or would I rather have Netflix? I think at this moment, I'd rather have the piano app because it's more productive and I'm getting like more out of it.
I think we're probably the last people that will feel this way. I think the next generation will be way more at ease about spending money on things that you can't hold in your hand. Because do you remember the move from like CD to downloads?
Yeah.
I mean, I still buy downloads on that old school. I'm still like buying tracks, and I just don't want to have a subscription. I don't want to pay for my Apple Music. I'd rather pay 99p for the exact track that I want and have this library that can't be taken away. Which is, I know it.
No, mate, you're right. I do think about it. You know, there's a couple of things there. I've got a huge box of CDs up in our loft, and I just love that they're there, and I own them. And it's, you know, if you ever want to listen to whatever track, it's right there. But at the same time, with Spotify, obviously I pay for that every month. That's another thing. Oh, you want to watch Joe Rogan podcast? Another £9. Yeah. So, dude, that's like so much money when you think about it every month. And I love that I have it, and I've made these playlists, and it's all there. But if Spotify went bust, I'd lose all of my music category, like my music library would all just be gone. I don't really know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know, it's not something I can hold. I can't, you know, but at the same time, you can say any song and you can hit play on it, and it's playing in really nice quality in your headphones. It
is a service. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's crazy that I need to start being more frugal a little bit. You know, we had this conversation yesterday, Emma and I. We went out for a lovely walk yesterday, stopped off for some lunch / breakfast, brunch they call it if you're posh, in a little village. And I ordered some porridge, and I didn't even think about it at the time, right?
You posh bastard.
We're going back to the home renovations shortly. So I ordered this porridge.
Gruel.
I literally ordered gruel,
posh
right?
Bastard.
It's the worst, isn't it? But that's what I felt like. I was, you know, I'm trying to eat pretty good at the moment and whatnot. So I ordered porridge, and it came, and it was all right. Like it was okay. It was called apple pie porridge or something. It had like 3 slices of apple, some maple syrup or some bullshit on it. And it came, and Emma goes, "How much was that?" I was like, £8.50. She's like, "Are you insane? £8.50? Like, do you know how much porridge oats you can buy for £8.50?" I was like, "Dude, you're right, actually.
Many.
Like, so you could feed like the whole village for £8.50."
Dude, you're living life. You're living. It's good.
It's just,
you've got to live life.
You have to at some point just be like, that's kind of stupid. You know, you don't have to be spending £8 on oats and oat milk.
But,
you know,
but no, I tell you what, Needles told me this, and he said he used a coffee as his example, but we use porridge for this. No one got rich by not having porridge. And that is a fact.
True.
No one got rich by not having porridge. It's like, yeah, I agree. It's good to be frugal, and it's good. I think it's good for you generally. But then also, you got to do you know, everything.
Did I just sound like super tight? I think I did sound a little bit tight there. But
no, you didn't, because you just bought it and you didn't think about it. If anything, Emma sounded tight. No,
yeah, that's true, actually.
I don't think you did sound tight. I think I'm the same. I'd say I'm really frugal and stuff, but I absolutely won't affect my life. But basically, I think the decisions, you know, when it comes to like something I want, I'll crush it. But when it comes to like food and drink and just like sort of experiences, going up on the train to London, I did the other day. It was ludicrously expensive. I went up and met Bren Orton.
Yeah, I saw. Really good.
Member. But like, you know, that was so expensive. I had to park my car for a tenner at the station. I had to buy a train ticket. For me was like 30 something quid return. You know, just this is for half a day in London. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
But no one got rich by not getting on the train, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe then. But
mate, I don't know. It's just interesting. I think, you know, at the moment things are going up a lot. Things are going a little bit crazy. You know, even talking about what we were just discussing with TVs and licenses and like mortgage rates and blah blah. Everything's going up, and you just at some point have to go, you know what are we doing here? You know, why are we spending £8.50 on porridge? Why have we got 10 different apps just to watch silly shows on TV? I don't know. Anyway, let's go back to the home renovation, man. I'm interested to hear where you're at. It is going to be okay. We're okay. Just keep,
We're not doing washing up in the bath anymore. We've got a downstairs sink. So that was really crap. Carrying all of the washing up to the bath was a really a low period. We're still on the.
Would you bath with the pots?
Yeah. No, only with the cutlery.
That makes sense.
Long and thin ones I use.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're moving on slowly but surely. We've got no carpet upstairs. We've got a bit of plastering to do upstairs. This is really got so boring all of a sudden. I think it's time.
But it's nice, man. Okay, we can move on. I'll tell you what was going on the other day with me, actually, that I want to talk to you about. I'm scrolling through the Instagram channels, scrolling through the gram, and I see some sailing, and I was like, oh, pretty cool. I didn't have the sound on. Genuinely didn't have the sound on. Scrolling through the gram. Oh, this looks pretty cool. What's this? Turn the sound on. Your voice is playing, and I'm thinking, am I on the phone to Ollie? Like, what's going on? Why is it sailing? Why is it Ollie's voice? And then I figured out that you were the voice of the
ocean race.
You were the boat race voice.
Boat race. Dude, I got so many messages that people... It's amazing that found its way into mountain biking, kind of. Well, no, I guess it's through Cut Media. So...
Cut posted it. That's how I saw it.
So, yes, I am the voice of the ocean race. Thank you very much.
Mate, the voice of the ocean race. What a incredible title. I know you don't use LinkedIn, but if you use LinkedIn, that would be the header on the thing. It'd be professional mountain biker, voice of the ocean race. Okay, so I've done a few voiceover jobs now. Yeah.
I can't remember what they started through, but it was realistically cut. I think I did one for tourist board or something in Scotland, Visit Scotland or something. And they needed a voiceover last minute for the ocean race, and they were producing like these kind of videos that summarized it to promote the ocean race. And from what I understand, the ocean race sailing itself is quite sort of like a rich sport, and they wanted to make it a bit more youthful and a bit more salt of the earth.
Mate, who else better to call?
You don't know what your voice portrays, though. I've never thought about it.
That'd be interesting to know. Like, what do they think? Like, why did they go to the dub? Like, what was it?
That is why, because I don't sound typically sailing.
That makes sense. They should have had a really northern guy. Like, then.
Often they do, don't they? Like a southern English accent is rarely sort of used. They tend to. That I don't think that people use southern. It used to obviously be. Do you remember the newsreader used to be just like Queen's English?
Oh yeah, like perfect English. Really, and now it's a bit more rough around
really
the edges. I think I don't watch the news, but yeah, it's changed a lot.
No, but just generally presenters. There's like that Stacey Dooley bird, isn't there?
Yeah, mate.
Like 20 years ago, she would not have been on TV with an accent like that. No. Not that I don't like the accent, but that just wouldn't have been on it. Yeah, I'm Stacey Dooley. That wouldn't have been the one that they chose to read the news.
No, it's true, man.
Yeah.
It's funny, man. They also have Joe Pasquale. Like, he got his way on the TV with his squeaky voice.
Yeah. It's crazy. But it was such a cool experience, actually. Every time I've done it, it's really interesting. You go into... You'd probably think about... Anyone listening probably think about voiceover as just like... It's fucking easy. It's like you just read what's written for you. It's done. They record it. It's done. There are, and I was on board with that as well before I ever did any. There are infinite ways you can read every sentence, even 3 words. The ocean race. The ocean race. The ocean race. You see what I mean? Each of those things means a different thing, and if it's your race, you want it said in the right way. So I'm in a recording booth, looking like I'm recording Christmas number 1. It's literally like that. Full booth. I've got a director from Cut on the phone. I think they were like Skyping with the race organisers or the person in marketing at the race thing.
Okay.
So you have to go through endless iterations of the same thing. Yeah, and you've got the phrase that you need to say. These boats. I can't even remember. I was trying to find the script.
Okay.
But you've got how you think you're going to say it, and then you'll go through a next one. They might go, "Oh, that's perfect, brilliant." Yeah. Again, there are like endless different moods that you can read something, and you want a video piece, even if it's short, to like ebb and flow. You don't want it to be like the whole time. You want it to be like.
Are you seeing the content as well at the same time, so you can see the context of what you're talking about, or is it just the voice?
That was impossible. We tried that on this one, and it had I was going to have the sound of the sample voiceover not the professional voiceover, in one ear, and then I would have to replicate it in real time over the video. Way too difficult, way above my pay grade. I'm crap at that. So
right.
I don't know. The whole experience was really cool because it was like, it made you, you have to, it's too easy to just look at something and think it's easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until you're actually there. And the same goes for whatever, being on camera, being an actor.
Did it take a little while until you'd sort of like, not settled into it, but, you know, let go of, like, you know, we were talking about before, just like letting go and just surrender into the process of it? Because I think if I did it, I'd be like quite nervous at first. I'd be like trying to say stuff, but you don't want to sound like a total douchebag, so you wouldn't say it how you maybe even think you should say it, and then you go, and then you almost need to just surrender to the process and just let whatever comes out come out. And
right.
Yeah, I think, similar to this, man. It's a similar process, I bet, to this.
Yeah.
You know, think about how nervous you'd be when you first do a podcast, and like you're trying to say the right thing all the time, and then it's like with anything, right? You just settle into it, and over time you become more comfortable with just sitting and saying whatever it is that comes out of your mouth.
It sounds stupid, but
we don't have a director telling you what to say.
No, true.
That's the thing.
True. It sounds stupid, but it's like being on camera. My turning point, because I used to be awful on camera when I was younger, because I was just like, fuck, this is so weird. It's not a natural thing. It's probably more natural now that there's like smartphones with cameras on, but I used to not be natural at all, and actually all that changed, I'm okay on camera now, and all that changed was just I don't care anymore. I don't care what anyone thinks, and like that definitely, I didn't feel nervous about that, because all you can do is your best, and you know, and like that's what I sort of think on camera. I sort of just think, well, this is who I am anyway, so who cares if you don't? You can write me a comment you can write a mean comment or something, you know, if it makes you feel better.
There was an interesting clip I was watching from Gypsy Tales the other day. It was with Jace had Christian Craig on, and they were talking about Danger Boy Deegan and how he's come up. His whole life he's had cameras around him. There's always going to be a camera guy there, no matter if he's riding, if he's chilling, whatever. You got a camera guy there, and he's almost become desensitized to the whole thing. It's not even a thing anymore. That you know. And I guess when that process first starts, you'd always be thinking. And this is something that I'd say I'm not good at it, not by a long shot. Like, I've not done too much stuff to camera, but whenever we've done something like a film, or, you know, we've done like Freedom Ride's a good example, and you've been asked to say stuff, or, you know, do a scene or whatever it is, I'm thinking about what it's going to look like too much. And you just literally have got to cut that away, haven't you? And just be in the moment and just do your thing if that camera wasn't there. But I think that is being around it more, and it's having that exposure to it a lot more, right? And like you say, having cameras around and all the time probably does help people. We've got this generation now that's probably super comfortable with being on camera all the time, but it definitely doesn't come natural, like to me at all. Like, no, not at all.
I think you're very good at it then, if that's what you think. I think, again, another thing is like realizing that there's no point in worrying about what's out of your control, because right now the camera could be zoomed in, you know, this footage right here, it could zoom in on just my mouth, and I could be and I could have a bit of food around my mouth. It could just zoom in. I have no control over what actually happens for that sort of and the same goes with camera. All you can do is worry about what you're putting out, so not worry about like the other bits. They're pointless. They're for someone else to worry about. Just worry about you doing your best, putting out whatever you're putting out the most clear. But do you know a really interesting one? I don't know if we've talked about it before on the podcast, but have you ever heard of a phenomenon called audience capture?
No.
So this, to me, is fascinating, and it really made me kind of look in the mirror.
Okay.
So it's kind of... I'm going to send you a link. It's called The Perils of Audience Capture, How Influencers Become Brainwashed by Their Audience. So influencer is this horrible term that I'm putting it in the chat of this at the minute. Influencer is this horrible term that we've sort of come up with. Ultimately, it's such a broad term, it doesn't really mean anything. as far as I'm concerned, I'm talking to you right now. It's just like I'm sat in a pub or a coffee shop. We're just having a chat. But it goes out to
okay,
more
have you
people
put this
than
in a
just you
chat?
and
Oh,
I.
okay, you've put it on our chat here. Sorry.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's not that you have influence, that you feel you have influence, any of those things. It's just that your voice is going out to more than just the person. You know what I mean? We're just having a one-to-one personal chat.
Mate, I think I sent you this.
You may well have done. Yeah, you probably did.
Yeah, it just clicked then. It just clicked. So this is that story of the gentleman Nicholas Perry who started off doing eating, I believe. Hang on, I can't remember.
Mate,
Yeah, that's right. So he was vegan and he started off doing like food videos online, and then people were getting more obsessed with seeing him eat more, these food challenges, and then he just went down this dark hole of just stuffing his face on YouTube to make money.
And
correct.
And the kind of but basically, and then what I guess this idea of audience capture is questioning is whether if he had been left on his own doing, and he hadn't had these likes, rewards, comments, views, all these numbers to steer him through life, whether he's ended up in a completely different place as to if he had been just himself in a vacuum. And I thought about that, like even in a micro version of myself, like maybe I fuck around too much, joke around. I'm not like, I'm jokey guy now, but I think I always was, so I don't mind. But it makes you question.
What's really nice as well is when you realise that you found that thing that you do, regardless of if there was social media or a job behind it. And I can honestly say, like, from the bottom of my heart, that I absolutely love this podcast, this platform, everything about it, regardless of the community or whatever. I actually love doing it. Like, I actually really enjoy it, and I really enjoy everything that it's brought. And it's interesting when that happens. And also I think it's interesting to think back about, I'm a firm believer in when you're a kid, you kind of know what you want to do. I think you have these aspirations when you're a child, and you get influenced by outside sources and stuff, and you go on different paths, and then I guess a lot of people call it like a midlife crisis, but you realise, like, I'm on the wrong trajectory here. When I was 16, I used to love whatever it could be, soccer, whatever, and then because of school and the friends you hang around with, it sent you down this different path, and all of a sudden you're doing something that you hate, and you're in a job that you don't like and stuff like that. And I often think about that. When I was a kid, I'm doing now literally what I wanted to do when I was a child, like from really early, like 12 probably. I remember being a super geek about distribution companies and advertising and marketing, and when I went to do work experience, I wanted to be a radio DJ, which I totally forgot about until I started the podcast. And my mum was like, you do remember that you tried to go to Hallam FM on your, and it's weird, isn't it?
What was the radio station called?
Hallam FM.
Hallam FM.
Big John at breakfast. Yeah, I was just interested in it, man. Like, I can't even remember now, but it's funny, isn't it, that you know early on, like, what makes you tick, and what just makes you happy, because there's nothing else attached to it. There's no mortgage attached to it. There's no job. You know what I mean? There's no responsibilities attached to it. It's just what you enjoy doing. It's nice to think about that sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. I always think, like sometimes it feels a bit like this is literally like you and I talking shit for a couple of hours or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you say to someone else, "Oh, sorry, I'm going to do the podcast," is there a bit of you that feels a bit like, "God, I'm quite some guy, eh? I've got a podcast," I
think it depends. I think I've had this conversation a lot. I went to a wedding on Friday, and we're speaking to a lot of people that. This is the thing, it's when you speak to people outside of your bubble that don't know you, and you explain what you do, and I was having this conversation with somebody, and it depends what your view is of that platform already. So if you are talking to someone who maybe they are a Joe Rogan fan, and they get the vibe, what it can be, or they think you're a geek that's talking, I don't know, it's doing like lectures online. Do you know what I mean? It really depends. It's almost as similar as if you say, oh yeah, I ride mountain bikes. Someone's either going to think you ride along gravel tracks in Lycra, or they think you're going down hills doing fun shit,
I think podcasts are popular because people are curious and interested just in life and in the world, but they don't necessarily all have the tools or the time or the facility to actually explore things or ideas or like learn about stuff. It's just literally learning about stuff. I remember being like, when I was younger and I learned about podcasts, it was almost like, oh, it's actually not uncool to be interested. I've always been interested in like, oh, what platypus has venom, or like all of these little things. It's not lame to be interested. It's actually what makes life interesting. It's like, I don't know.
Different viewpoints, different, opening up your different ideas. I'm not saying we do that, but sometimes it's people that just want to feel like they're hanging out with their mates, right? They just want to feel that thing in the day.
You're right, yeah.
I had this little epiphany the other day, actually. It was on Saturday. I did a pretty long dog walk on Saturday, and I stopped off at a coffee shop. It's on a fishing lake. It's really beautiful, actually. And I'm sat there. I was on my own, just me and the dog. Sat there, got a coffee. I just sat there chilling, and then like 4 people came, and I'm not describing. Anyway, 4 people came, sat down, sort of like just behind me to the right, but I could overhear their conversation. And the girl, one of the girls was saying, "Oh yeah, I'm back working at the hospital." She's like, "I absolutely hate it. The money's all right, but I absolutely hate it." And I was having this thought in my head all the time of like, it's sad that you're saying that you hate your job. Like, we talk about this a lot, and I don't want to keep banging the same drum, but I was just sort of thinking, well, it's a shame, really. She's working in care with people that probably need help, and yet she hates being there. And she was saying, "I'm only there for the money. I just need the money out of it, and I have to do all these extra hours to make it actually worthwhile doing that job. To make my wage up." Yeah, and I was just thinking, man, it's really sad that you're saying that in a way. That's how you make enough money to live, and you don't enjoy doing it. I don't know. I feel like I've talked about that a lot, and people end up in circumstances where you can't not do that job. You got things, bills and kids and stuff to pay for, but ultimately you're only here once, and if you sat there complaining to your friends that you absolutely hate your job, maybe let's look at trying to make a few changes, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. I always get stuck because I think the key is, I don't know, I feel like the key is to be able, like if you have the tools to be able to make a job that isn't necessarily what you dreamt of, if you can have the tools to make it fun and to create an atmosphere where you actually enjoy it. Like I just, sometimes you see people in kind of jobs that like maybe you wouldn't necessarily instantly link to like lifelong happiness or whatever, and they're happy and they're having a whale of a time. When you meet a person like that, they're brilliant, aren't they? They just like lift the mood, just a positive energy. They're like, even if they're doing a shit job, what would be considered as a shit job. And I think like it's almost like they've got the answer, because even doing a really cool job, there's things that you're always going to find something that's like hard. Yeah, there'll always be bad days, and have your own struggles or whatever, won't you? Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, I go back and forth with this. I've got a lot of respect for people who do jobs that they don't actually enjoy, but they're doing it just so they can do what they do enjoy at the weekend. That's great, of course. It depends where your headspace is at with that. But I look at that as, personally, I look at it as a lot of wasted time in life, that you spend a lot of time doing a job. It could be 8-10 hours a day. And if that's something you don't want to do, that's a massive portion of your life that you are doing something that isn't resonating in your heart space. It is not like what you feel you should be doing and putting out into the world. So I don't know, I have this running joke with a friend. I always say it's just life choices, but I know it's not. There's a lot more things to it and whatever, but ultimately we all have the capability to carve out our own path. I don't want to sound all motivational and shit, but we do have the ability, I think, to an extent, to carve out your own path, and to always wake up in the morning and be stoked to go and do whatever it is you're going to do, and to have time for yourself and this and that. So
right, can we go full circle and make this about me again?
Yeah, please.
What did you think of my voiceover job? What did you think of it? Did
fantastic.
It make you interested in sailing? Did it?
I think it was fantastic. I think I had a little bit of there's a little bit of bias there, right? Because it's you, so I was like hyped for you that you'd done it, and then you got the gig and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you did a fantastic job of the voiceover work. I really do.
Super hard to know, eh? Like if it's your voice, it's like very at the. It's like.
No doubt, there's a sailor out there that's like, who the fuck is this Southern guy? You know,
with like mispronounced hydrofoil or something.
Yeah, there's a sailor out there. There's some rowing champion or something that's like, oh, who's this guy? Why didn't they use a sailor that's well known that people would resonate with their voice? But
I didn't hate it. I quite enjoyed it actually. I quite enjoyed it as a task, as like it's quite a satisfying task because you know when you get it right and you can just do something over and over again. And I had the words there. It's not like live TV or anything, so I had it right there, so you could change things up. It was funny, like the producer or director, I'm too useless. He'd like ask me to do let's have a few examples, and on some things I'd just forget because I'm crap at it, and I'd just read it word for word exactly the same. So it would give them no options or anything. They'd be like, yeah, they were all the same.
This is the best one.
Whereas you're meant to like change it up and change tone and stuff like that. Yeah. It's funny.
That's cool. So did you just do the Instagram clip then that went out, or did you do the whole event?
I think
what did you do?
No, I did not do the whole event. They had actual like people who know about stuff. I think it was just one that they maybe cut to during the Eurosport show or whatever.
Okay, like a teaser, like a promo thing or something.
Yeah, so from what I can remember, we talked about like these boats are incredible. They do a 6-month around the world race only based on the wind, and they're on hydrofoils. And I mean, imagine being on one of those boats. I can't remember what the crew is on these boats, but it's like there'd be no rest. There's no like you're just on the boat pulling ropes, changing direction, looking at your map the whole time. It'd be so hard. And there are days where there's no wind, so you just sit there. It's like pretty crazy.
I'm gonna try and I hope I'm allowed to talk about this. I'm gonna try and put something out into the ether to try and make this happen. But this is super interesting. I don't think I told you this.
Okay.
So I love when things just happen. They just come together almost as if like by magic. When I went and did the trade show a few weeks ago at Slide, my colleague at Saks, Darren, the underwear guy, as most people know him, the night before the trade show, we were in the hotel and we were in the pool. Actually, we were chatting away and we were talking about life and this and that. And we do this thing every year. I think I spoke about it on here, where we set goals and we talk about them and we review them every few months and stuff.
Yeah.
And he'd not done his yet, so I was like, "Come on, man! Like, what are you thinking? What's going on?" And he was, he goes, "Oh, one of the things I really want to do is I want to row the Atlantic. It's called the Talisker Whiskey Challenge. I think that's what it is. Forgive me if I'm." So that's on. So he's like, I think that's something that I'm really like drawn to. It's really big. I'm sorry, I'm calling Darren's story out here. So we're going to talk about this more. I think there's more to this story, but I'm going to give you the bare bones of it. So yeah, I was like, cool, man, that's massive. You spoke about that before. It's a huge thing. Of course, that'd be such an amazing thing to do. It's a huge challenge. It's 2 and a bit months sailing, rowing. It's rowing. You row it, right? Row it. So you can do it in a team or a team of 2, team of 4. Anyway, we think nothing more about it. Chatting about it for a few moments. The next day, a guy comes onto the stand. He's chatting Darren. He goes, I can't remember, but they ended up talking about rowing the Atlantic, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I did it like last year, a couple of years ago or something."
No way.
And he's like, "No shit, that's amazing." And Darren said, "Obviously, I'd love to do that. It's on my list. We were talking about it the other night. Me and my friend here, Davey, we were talking about it the other night." And he says, "Well, I know a team that's going that have got a spare space." So it was like, and I'm overhearing this conversation. I was like, "Sign him up. Like, he'll do it. I'm like really pushing the issue. So then within 10 minutes, Darren's in a WhatsApp chat with all this team that's going to try and row the Atlantic next year. Yeah, and it's it's escalated. Yeah, it's escalated now. I think he's over this week to try and meet the team, and there's obviously a lot goes into it. There's a lot of money got to be raised, But I'm just throwing a little teaser out there because I think we're going to work on a few things to try and make this a reality. There's going to be potentially like a podcast series and stuff like that.
That'd be really cool to follow that. That's 2.5 months, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, up around that. I mean, the quick teams do it in about 30 odd days from what I saw. It's called the Talisker Whiskey Challenge.
Once you get 10 miles off, no one would know if you had one of those electric outboards. I'd just stick that in there.
True that, yeah. True that. It's gnarly, man. It's gnarly. Like, you overturn out there, it's going to take a day for someone to come and find you. Like, it's... And so they do it in like a team of 4, and it's 2 hours on, 2 hours rowing, and then you basically just go in like a rotation. So you get like 2 hours sleep, 2 hours sitting, 2 hours supported, row again, and it goes round.
So do
fucking
they have a
gnarly,
covered,
dude.
They have a covered deck thing,
It's got like a cabin, I believe.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you're out in the elements. You know, you're getting sunburn.
Sat there,
Yeah, just rowing, and a lot of that, I think, from what he spoke about it quite a bit with me, but from what I understand, a lot of it's to do with wind as well. You know, you want the wind behind you. There's been certain races where people have ended up literally stuck in one spot for like 4 days, just rowing against the wind, just to try and stay in that spot for days, dude. Just days on it. It's so gnarly, but so sick that it's potentially going to be a reality, and we can talk about it on here, and we can help support it and stuff like that. So
I did not
just
have it in me.
Trying to put that in, mate. Me either. Because Darren was, we talk about, all these goals and stuff you want to achieve and challenges and stuff, and he was like, yeah, I don't want to run a marathon. It's whatever. I don't want to. There was a few that he was like, I don't want to do that, but row the Atlantic, and I was like, fucking, it's a pretty big old leap, Like a marathon's going to take you 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
A little bit of training before. Rowing the Atlantics, you're going to be away from home on the ocean for over 2 months.
Oh man, totally.
And you've got to raise a ton of money to make it happen as well, because this shit's not expensive to do that. Not cheap to do that. That's expensive.
We were talking about actually really close to exactly this yesterday at the trails about riding, and about how you have different characters within riding that do different, there's so many different ways you can ride a bike. So you've got, we were at the trails, so we were talking about dirt jumps, and we've got Milford down the road, SFP Bike Park. And at SFP Bike Park, there are a lot of people who are, obviously we all sit on this scale, but there are a lot of people who are like Pokemon card collectors with tricks. So they just want more tricks, and they're collecting these tricks, ticking them off, gathering them. They're like, do you get where I'm going with it? So then, then there's the endurance people like George. She's like a top trumps person, so she has number goals. So she has like,
it's a great analogy.
Yeah,
man. That's
so she
good.
has like 100k that she wants to do that day. So then she goes out and she tries to do that goal. So much like Darren doing the whatever this rowing thing is. Yeah. And then and all of us, we're all the same guys. We're like trail guys that don't really, you do the odd spin or flip or whatever, table, whip. It's not really what it's about.
But it's not like what you're there for.
So
you're not there just to learn something.
Yeah, what are we? We're like, I feel like I'm really simple. It's like, it's a really present thing. And it's like,
what is it? So if you had so you've got the Pokemon guy that's collecting the tricks, you've got the endurance guy that's collecting the Ks. What are you? Are you like the guy that's just collecting the memories and the lols?
I don't know. And it's what we were talking about. We were like,
wow.
What analogy do we have for that? Because I'm not alone. There's lots of people like it that are like, no, why am I going to go to the race, for instance? Why am I going to go to I don't need to do this challenge. I'm just not drawn to it at all. It's not like me pretending. I'm just not. I went for a ride yesterday in the morning, and then I went to the trails, and I'm happy doing that. Like, I really enjoyed that. The ride, I have no idea how long it was. It doesn't matter. I didn't time any sections. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah. And then at the trails, I didn't do any tricks, and it doesn't matter to me. I just enjoy going through them. And I have. I think
I'm guilty of being in that in the past. I've gone through a few different sections of that. I've never been the guy to collect Ks. I've never been that guy. I don't think. I've never. I had a road bike back in the day for training and blah blah blah. But I never gave a shit really how far it was. It was just on my legs hurting. Yeah, right, go home. So I have been that guy though. I've never really been trick guy. I was definitely for a while. I was only riding trails, only riding dirt jumps for a few years. I've been the 4-cross guy that was trying to collect podiums.
Yeah.
Done that for a little bit, but not really. I was there just for the laugh. I didn't really care where I finished, to be honest with you, but it was kind of nice to re-energize that, relight that race thing in me, because I do have that pretty strong. Never really been downhill race guy. Against the clock, that doesn't do anything for me. But now I like to think and a lot of it's because of you. Like, I'll give you a lot of props for this, trying to re-energizing me for all types of different biking. So now I'm literally I want to try and be like an all-round, just like, I want to go do some big jumps one day and do some stuff, and then it's kind of like I use the guy like a Ryan Sipes. I want to be that guy that's just like doing a bit of everything all the time, similar to what you do, man. Like that's what I enjoy. Is grab the e-bike, regular bike.
Great one, yeah.
That's a great example of someone who's just doing it for the love.
But I mean, I used to race, obviously, and I was motivated by that back then. But I've just sort of like, I feel like I've leveled off, and I don't feel like much is going to change from here. I don't know. Maybe all of a sudden I'll go after. It's not going to be tricks, is it? It's not going to be Pokemon card collecting. It's going to be the top trumps. I'm going to be looking for targets or goals or whatever. But are
you content? You're like content driven a little bit though. Surely you're a little bit like, this will make a great clip or not.
But then that's just job wise, yeah. I definitely feel the pressure to do stuff like that, But again, that's not. I wouldn't naturally be putting.
Because then I guess when you look at all these different characters in mountain biking and what they're achieving, what they're trying to achieve, whether you got trick guy, whatever, there is that new wave of content guy that they're just trying to make content. Yeah,
it's true. Yeah,
which is a weird one. It's cool, but it's a weird one.
It is a weird one.
You have got.
So that one's like that's like someone being motivated by the applause, by the likes and the numbers, and it is in a way like it isn't. You're right, actually. That is a different. But again, I don't.
What does that motivate you exactly? What is the motivation behind that?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's my motivation. I just thought it was interesting.
It's super interesting to think about. I'd love to hear from people who are listening or watching to this now. What is your chase? What is that motivating factor about biking for you? Are you chasing K's, laughter? What is it? Let us know in the comments. Let's see how many different state of the sport we could call it. We just rip that off from. No, I'd love to hear the state of the listeners, like state of the companionship. We'll call it state of the companionship.
Yeah,
what is it that motivates you about biking? It would be interesting to know that actually.
I mean, you really got me then, because I didn't think of it as that, but that is exactly the question, isn't it? What is it that motivates
you about it?
Because so much of it is it's just the thing that I've done every day for so long as well.
I think all that stuff as well, it's like a byproduct for so many people of the K's or the let me try and put it into perspective. A lot of people use biking as an escape. Obviously it's a hobby, but a lot of them, we have so many people reach out that are using it as like a mental health thing. And that's also another aspect to all of this. It's that people are using it. It doesn't matter about the K's, it doesn't matter about the trick, it doesn't matter about the time or whatever. It's just have you come back from that ride with a renewed or a refreshed brain. That's the thing, You're chasing escapism, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think jumps from the outside, if you don't do it, is like an adrenaline thing. I honestly reckon, I'd love to get it measured, but I honestly reckon there's zero adrenaline response. Because when I have an adrenaline response, I really know what it's like, in a car or whatever, or when something shocks you. There's not a feeling that I get any in my head. There's no adrenaline.
It will have been one day. When you first start doing it, but then you become so comfortable with dirt jumping, for example, that it's more of a relaxing thing.
Yeah, it is. It's like meditative.
Yeah. Once you get to a certain level.
Yeah,
it is interesting. That I love that. Well, great topic, dude. Great topic.
I've got another topic, and it was actually from Dave downstairs, who's currently moving the gas. I'd love to get him up to join, but he's hard at work. So
I'm paying him, so keep working.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Avatar 2 has come out. Have you seen Avatar 2?
No. Neither have I seen Avatar 1.
Okay.
No.
Well, I really like Avatar 1. I haven't seen Avatar 2. But do you understand the sort of premise of it, or the?
No, blue people. I think that's pretty much as far as I can get with Avatar.
Really, you clocked out after you saw it. It was like extended Smurfs. You were like, nah, not watching
Adult Smurfs.
Adult Smurfs. Adult Smurfs sounds bad, because that is a really unweighted situation. Adult Smurfs, there's one Smurfette and there was loads of other blokes. They barely even had names. That's only one type of adult movie.
Literally the first blue movie. Come on.
Pretty good, yeah. Round of applause.
Let's take a moment. Let's just have a moment for that.
So Avatar's, I don't even know if I can go through it with you.
I'm sorry, I've ruined the segment.
No, you haven't. It's great. Avatar, I think, is really cool. It's like this other world, and it's how these sort of like life forms have evolved to fit in this other world. So the avatars are all really tall and athletic and amazing, really in touch with Mother Earth or whatever they call it, and they're trying to. It's got like a strong environmental message. Even back then, when first Avatar came out, which was ages ago, it hasn't dated much either.
Wow, it was really cool, like CGI almost as well,
incredible.
wasn't it?
It really is. You don't have to be into it for it to be incredible. For sure.
Okay.
I just think there's so much work's gone in. Anyway, it's kind of quite. I guess Avatar 2, from what I've heard, and I don't feel worried about doing a spoiler because I haven't seen it, but for Avatar 2, I think they go underwater. So there's another race of species of these creatures that look a bit like humans, and they've evolved to live underwater. So there's all these sort of like civilizations of creatures, whatever, in this crazy world, and then the humans are trying to mine all of the minerals from this world. I think that's basically the premise of it.
Okay. So okay, just to clarify, so we've got Avatar people living underwater, Avatar people living above water.
Yeah, two different species.
And humans.
And humans, all in one thing. In a CGI world of crazy scenery, really beautiful animation.
Yeah. Basically,
what Dave said was, and it kind of links to Avatar, because each of these races, is that right? I don't even fucking... Each of these human races of Avatar, whatever, they're not human, useless, really ruined it. Basically, they've evolved to their environment. How could the human body be further adapted to MTB? Good question, huh? That's what he said. He said to me. I thought that's a really good question.
That's right, good. Yeah, okay.
I can think of one straight away out of the gate.
Really? You can?
Yeah, the genitalia is in a very dangerous... The sexual reproductive organs, that is not a safe spot, let's be honest. Male, female, we've got it right there with a saddle ramming into it. It's just not safe, is it?
No, so the question here is, how could the human body be better adapted to mountain biking?
That's right, that's the question. I'm going in...
And maybe that's the episode title.
It could be, yeah. I'm coming in hot with move the genitalia. To where, I don't know. Often I'll suggest what we shouldn't do, but I won't know what we should do.
Okay, I like that. So we're moving the genitalia out the way to make the saddle position more comfortable.
Yeah.
Big fan of that. I'm going to go straight in with the more robust skull, because the skull's tough. Yeah, the skull is... We make that harder so we don't have to... I kind of like wearing a helmet. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of cool, you know. Sometimes it keeps your hair nice.
Do you know what I'm going to suggest? Because I think we can do two birds with one stone. Let's move the brain and the genitalia inboard. So we don't have to have this the computer system part of the... We can still have the extensions of the brain here for vision, because it's a vantage point. But let's move the brain.
Maybe it could go here.
Oh, in the neck. Could do.
In the neck. Maybe it could go in the neck.
I was
it's
thinking
probably
in the torso.
Definitely fit mine there. Definitely fit it in the Adam's apple, actually.
I was in the torso, and I think you'll be with me on this. The rib cage, prone to failure, as you've proven last year.
Yeah, can be. Can be. Make that one piece.
Let's really, really make their ribcage heavy duty. We'll move the brain and genitalia inboard amongst this. I don't know how the genitalia is going to protrude, is the problem.
Maybe it could sit in... Yeah. Maybe it could come out your belly button. That'd be kind of nice.
What? The hog?
You could just wee out of it.
Okay.
Because you don't need a hog. You could just ditch that off, right? We could just get rid of the hog.
How do we reproduce?
Mine's massive, dude. It's always in the way. So we just get rid of that and just have it just stick out a little bit out of the belly button. Yeah. That way guys can still stand for a pee. So, because obviously that, you know, with the two different body types that we have in the world, or however many there are, let's just... There's a lot, probably. You know, I think one of the major benefits of being a dude is you can just nip off quick wee.
Yeah, whereas it's good
for the girls, it's tough, and it's like, I've got to take trousers.
It's telling, isn't it?
About squat and stuff. Yeah.
The first
I like the belly button
on improvements, literally talking about our willies.
I like the belly button P.
Okay.
I like that. You could just squeeze it and just fire it out like Anyway, like a froob.
Okay, so now we've got rib cage, massive rib cage. We've got the brain and the genitalia
Inside.
held within this protective layer. So now the head, I guess the head could be smaller. What height are we talking that's best for? So don't catch
best height for biking.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like we could get higher. We could sink the head. The head needs to be able to turn for vision, though, doesn't it? For going around corners and stuff.
Yeah. I wonder if we could. The attack position is obviously a pretty important position on the bicycle. I wonder if we could have some sort of like elbow locking system, which is just like, and you're in, and then you're in attack position.
Oh, okay. So you could just do huge...
And also, I'd probably get rid of lactic acid buildup in the human body, because that'd be good. Because then you could just do biking all the time, couldn't you?
You could sprint everywhere.
You'd not. Yeah, you wouldn't get. Obviously, we'd get rid of arm pump. That'd be a great one. Yeah. So we'd make the veins. Bigger.
Yeah.
Like fruits.
I like that. Fruit veins. I'm going to sling into the pile here. We add an extra... We can all agree pedaling is a very important part of cycling. It's how you propel yourself forwards. Also, your legs absorb a lot of impact. Legs, ankle. Ankle, I would say I've got a bit of a bone to pick with it. But we could stick in another joint. Maybe double knee it. So we got 2 knees, so that then you've got extra suspension within the body as well.
Yeah, I like that. I like the double knee joint. Yeah. So it goes both directions.
Or we could go concertina style.
Concertina.
Or we could go just all one direction, massive, just like double quads. Actually, we don't even need just a saddle pistons anymore. So now that we don't have lactic acid build up, we can just stand up and pedal everywhere we go.
That might be good.
I did a challenge with Jono the other day. Jono set a challenge to do some whole laps, just stood up. And it really reminded me of the days before a dropper post.
Yeah.
I think we're making some improvements, dude. I think we are making some improvements.
I'd get rid of the streamy eyes. I'd make the eyes almost like glass, so just they don't stream at all.
Glass eyes.
With 20/20 vision as well.
Yeah, 20/20 vision, yeah. Maybe stick another one on there.
Old Cyclops, yeah. Maybe stick another one in the middle.
Because you want 2 looking where you're going, but you could have 1 looking where you're at. So you could have the one in the middle looking at like front wheel area, picking up roots, bumps, checking traction, and then you could have the other 2 looking where you're going. So they're chameleon style.
That's a good idea, actually. Like a Tesla, just like zooms in and sees the rock and then gets you.
That's nice.
But maybe that's kind of what we need. I don't know if we need. I think we need that. I think there needs to be some danger element. If you made it autopilot, self-driving bicycle body,
I mean,
that'd be
I'm losing
weird.
control now. I think get rid of the nose. Just have a massive mouth, so it's like giant air intake. That'd be good as well, wouldn't it?
I think one as well. I think for me, we've pretty much. I think we'd make the body more malleable. We'd make it bounce a little better.
Okay, yeah. More fat on the outside, then? Do you reckon?
More fat on the outside. Nah, because we still want to be. If we're trying to adapt the body to be sort of like better for biking, but also better for lifing, we want to be the most physically attractive species
we're not
in the world,
doing
right?
well with 3 eyes and no dick, are we?
It's true. With no reproductive organs, we're going to be a tough.
The hot ticket, would they?
No, but I'd like to think that they would be. I'd like to think if we're going to make some changes, it's every opposite sex person in the world is like, I want to be with the bike guy.
Really, yeah.
He's got the belly button dick, and he's got the small head with the brain throat.
This is awful.
Yeah, his knees go weird.
We should definitely switch up. There's an upgrade to be had. Chimpanzee muscle fibers are like unbelievably. They're way stronger than humans. Like just how their muscles work is absurd. Like what's the chimpanzee bench press record?
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? It's like super high.
Yeah.
Chimpanzee bench press record.
Let's have a look, because
Wow, how do you train a chimp to just bench press, dude?
The chimp world.
You know?
Well, we got some
As if there's
different
like a thing
answers
and
here. This is from
there's
Cora.
chimps out there training for it.
A chimp.
He's just in the zoo, just lifting weights. Just getting swole. And all the other chimps are just looking at you like, what are you doing? Chimpanzee, mate. Fucking bench press record. Wow.
Right, I've got some information here. People often exaggerate the strength of chimpanzees compared to humans, saying they're 3, 4, or 5 times stronger than a human. This is not true. Studies show that a closer estimate would be 1.2 to 1.5 times stronger than human. This is because chimpanzee has more fast twitch muscle fibers than humans.
Yeah, fast twitch.
So we're looking at, we're doing the average bench. Oh, it's just no. It looked like it said 1,000. It's insane.
£1,000?
£1,000, yeah. The world record for a
Holy.
chimp is £1,000.
There you go.
That's what it says. I don't know.
And the
how
world
much I
record for a
believe
human,
it.
I think, is 5 something, isn't it?
Well, this is from zoologist.com. It says that the chimpanzee can bench press a weight of 1,250 to 2,000 pounds.
That's just based on modelling, I bet. Surely. They've not actually put a chimp on a bench press machine, right?
I don't know. I have no idea. I saw that nice video of an orangutan driving a golf buggy. So surely
really,
if
yeah.
an orangutan can drive a golf buggy, then a chimp can do a big bench press. I think the chimps would question why. That's what I think is. The chimp would be like, why are you making me lift this?
Yeah. Do they just put like a treat on it, like a banana on it?
No idea.
Do they eat banana? Push
Yeah.
it up and it releases the banana. I think they do a lot for that.
Probably would,
Wouldn't
yeah.
they? Just like, "Yeah, banana, mouth.
I'd love to know
Decent.
more about chimps bench press, Max. I actually would.
Yeah, me
Imagine
too.
what they can deadlift. Oh, horrific.
Mate. Yeah. I did bench press deadlifting yesterday. I'm really sore today. I got a really good bench press exercise at the moment.
you?
Deadlift exercise at the moment. Yeah, it's really good. I'm enjoying it.
What do you do for deadlifts then? What's your exercise?
So I just made it up. So you go, it goes, so you do, okay, so I start at 70 kilogram,
Yeah.
and then you do 10 reps, 2 sets, and then you add another 10, and then you do 8 reps, 2 sets,
Okay.
and then you add another 10,
pyramid jobby.
6, and then you get to the end of 2 reps, which is about 120, I think, by the time you get to that point. Just 2 reps. You know, it's hard, but it's okay. You can get 2. And then you take all the plates off, you go back to where you started, and then you just rep until the end, until you can't lift it anymore. I did that yesterday.
Goodness,
It was good.
failure,
It was good.
yeah. Good on you.
Yeah, it's a good
on
one.
you.
I really
Get
liked
after
it. I really liked it. Yeah, I'm enjoying that stuff at the moment.
Nice.
Speaking of being optimized,
Let's speak about being optimized, dude.
can we go to a quick ad break? We'll have a quick urination, and then we'll come back and do some listener questions.
Brilliant. What a day. What an episode. I'm loving this.
Yeah.
Let's talk about being optimized.
Yeah. Shall we click in?
You click it, dude. Show 'em.
Right. Shall I click it?
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about being optimized.
Let's. I have a question for you, Davey.
Please let me hear it.
Can you tell me what this sound is? I think you're going to know. I do think you're going to know. All right, you ready?
Oh, mate, that sounds like my worst nightmare. That sounds like unoptimized days in the future.
It's exactly that. Do you know what that represents to me? Is I'm not nutritionally complete.
No,
I don't have 75 of those vitamins, nutrients, and probiotics in my system. Prebiotics every day. I don't have them.
No, you're not. That's probably what your insides sound like a little bit too. They're just rattling around. They're not complete. It's not a complete nutrition package.
Exactly. I've run out of Athletic Greens AG1.
All right. Well,
What do I do?
Thankfully, I just got a little delivery just landed right now. Do you want me to show you a little bit of what you could get if you take advantage of our offer? I'll just give you a little.
Please. Can we
teaser.
let's do unboxing?
So here it is. This is what's going to land at the door if you take advantage
Okay.
of the ride companion offer.
Okay,
It's
so
gonna
that's
come looking like this.
That's an AG1 box. He's opening it up
You
to
can
our
open
audio
it.
listeners.
Oh, there you go, mate. You're going to get a bag of Athletic Greens.
That
That's
lasts
right.
you a month, right?
Solid month, mate, yeah. You're going to get the shaker bottle, which is lovely. Really nice quality.
Very useful, yeah.
Yeah, you're also going to get in there, which we don't have in this box, a tin, the metal one that you showed, and the lovely little metal spoon. That's dope.
Lovely, yeah. What else are our listeners going to get if they use our code?
Yep, you're going to get a year's supply of vitamin D3. It's just in a tincture, super easy to take. And then we're also going to throw in 5 free travel packs. And these are amazing, dude. I've been using these quite a bit, especially been out and about a little bit more recently on the road. I take the travel packs with me. You know, mate, you're in and out of hotels, you're traveling, you're not getting good quality food, you're not getting good quality nutrition. You rip the top off this, you pour it in either in your shaker or in a glass of water or whatever. There it is. 75 vitamins, minerals, nutrients, pre and probiotics. Just like that. It takes all of the guesswork out of supplementation.
It does. And there's no better way to start your day than with AG1. That's for sure. I've been taking it I've now run out. Yeah. Thankfully, I've got more on the way, but I've been taking it every single day since, and I really like it as part of my daily routine.
And I think as well, dude, we're coming into a new year. It's something we've been discussing in the podcast of like making some new goals. And I think one of those goals potentially should be making sure that you're hitting those nutrition goals, right? I think
Absolutely.
Maybe you're going to start biking more. You're going to try the streak challenge that we forgot to launch. I don't know. Yeah. But, you know, I think it's just a good one to kickstart the new year off with, man. Especially after, you know, you come out of Christmas as well. You've been eating terrible food, probably eating too much chocolate, drinking Corona, Disaronno, trying to make Dr. Pepper out of 2 things which obviously don't taste like Dr. Pepper. Why not make sure that you've got Athletic Greens in the cupboard and you're going to hit all of those nutrition profiles that you should really be having, right? Absolutely. Health is wealth, right? Health is wealth.
What does that normally look like? Normally that looks like a load of different pills, supplements, little bottles, jangling around in the cupboard. You've got to remember to take each one or reorder each one. With AG1, you just do 1 drink in the morning, 1 scoop, and you're done for the day.
Done.
So if a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, the Athletic Greens is going to give a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/ride companion. That's athleticgreens.com/ride companion.
That's right.
For your one-way stop to optimization. I stumbled on my words then. I'm not optimized.
You're not. You can tell that thing's run out. I'll be honest, you can tell it's run out. Me, I'm firing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
My brain's got all the things it needs to be going. You know, I'm ready to go. I'm going to go for a bike ride after this, and that's all because I've been taking nutritional Athletic Greens. It's as simple as that.
There you go. Athletic Greens, AG1. Big thanks.
Big up.
And we're back. Right on the building site, you can hear Saws go. Can you hear him?
Yeah, man. That's the sound of my brain.
Is it?
Working.
It's quite loud, isn't it, that? Sorry about that. I don't know how to stop it. I can't really.
Well, can't stop it, can we, mate? Got to get the house done. Got to keep moving forwards.
Can't stop.
I
think it's time for listener questions.
I think so as well. I'm just going to have a little bit of this lovely drink. You see that? You know what that is?
Well, I thought it's in an AG1 container, so I thought it was your Athletic Greens.
No, mate, this is a standard old school Ribena. And I've got a lot of time for Ribena.
There you go. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was going to be some new sort of supplement, something.
Just Ribena.
Bone broth, I don't know.
No, just Ribena, mate. That's the broth of youth right there. Keeps you young.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
Right, yeah. You're right, yeah.
All right. I don't think there's anything. I'm just look at my notes. I know I didn't make any, but just going to check, make sure I'm not... just a quick shout out, I guess, as well, to everyone who reached out after last episode. I think the OnlyFans discussion was super interesting, and it sparked a lot of conversation outside of the podcast, which is really cool. We had a lot of people reach out to talk about it, especially... Mate, it went actually kind of crazy, that whole thing. I mean... I still don't really know where I sit. Yeah. I had a really interesting conversation with Win Masters about things through the week. We were looking at prize money. We were talking about athlete worth and stuff like that. I'm really excited to get Win back on the podcast soon, actually, because he's got some really good viewpoints on this, and especially being an athlete that seemingly does know his worth and has been with his sponsors for a long time, and just a lot of time for Win Dude. He's a super good voice with all this sort of stuff, and I really respect his opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's got some pretty strong viewpoints on the whole OnlyFans getting involved in mountain biking thing, and it'd be good to get him on. I think I think it'd be a great studio guest as well, someone we can just sit down with and just talk through all this stuff and whatnot. But yeah, we were comparing like Supercross prize money to mountain bike prize money, and we were talking about out of industry sponsorship coming on board and all that sort of stuff. It's been an interesting week on that side of things. I feel way more clear-minded with what I think about it all. So
that's cool. Good.
Yeah, it'd be good to talk to Win again soon. We'll get him on.
Yeah, always good to get Win on, isn't it?
Always good to get Win on. It's a shame he's moved away.
It is. Otherwise, we could get him in person.
Yeah.
I have managed to log myself out of the Ride Companion Instagram, so I'm unable to read any of the questions, and I'm sorry for this.
That's all right. You just make them up. I can do them. I got it right here, mate. I got it right here. So yeah, let me just check my notes, make sure there's anything else. Nothing else. One of my only notes is how weird our faces? ? And I remember why I wrote that down. It's just because faces are so weird, isn't it? Like everyone's different, but yet there's not that many features to change.
It's really true, yeah. It kind of links perfectly to our avatar conversation, doesn't it?
It does.
What stuff's for? Yeah.
Okay, let's do some listener questions. Let me click on the thing, and then we'll see what there is in here.
Nice.
At Dosler, do you poop on the side of the trails?
Yeah, I will do. I'm not afraid of an adventure poo. I've had some really pleasant ones in the past as well, and then I've also had some that leave me feeling disgusting for the rest of that day. So
yeah,
some of them have been brilliant. I actually remember there was a memorable one I had in Madeira, and it had an amazing view. I did it up against this tree, and the tree just had
like below
all of this moss on it that was so absorbent and brilliant. It was slightly damp as well. It really was a entirely pleasant experience. No smell on my hands. I had a river to wash my hands in. Brilliant. Then again, there's also been the opposite, which is you sort of feel like you've got shit on your hands, which you have for the rest of that day.
Yeah. I think yesterday I went for a walk with my friend Alex, who's absolutely disgusting. He's the most disgusting human being ever. And we were walking up a place in Sheffield in the Peak District called Stanage.
Yeah.
And we're walking up there, and he said, it's funny this question's come up. He goes, I was once walking up here and I really needed a poo.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. And he goes, yeah, so I had one like just over there, and he like pointed at a rock. He goes, but I didn't have anything to wipe with, so guess what I did? And I went, I don't know, you probably just use a sock or whatever, of course you just take a sock off. He was like, nah, I pissed in my hands and wiped my arse.
Really? Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's fucking disgusting.
It's also very impressive that he managed to hold in the wee whilst he was doing.
Good point.
That's
so,
quite
he
difficult.
pissed in his hand and then gave himself a little douche. Yeah, disgusting. I don't mind an HP. I think there's some of the best ones. Yeah. Really good. As long as you got something you can wipe with. There's nothing worse than being one sock for the rest of the day though. That sucks.
It's tough, isn't it? And some leaves are just not good enough, and then they puncture, and then that's very sad.
Those nettles and stuff. Not the one.
Nettles wouldn't know. Nettles sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah.
What's your technique? I used to go when I used to wear a belt. I used to do belt around the tree and then lean back, because then you're just sort of hovering in air. And also, the more you kind of make your legs, the more you. It's a horrible conversation, isn't it? Shall we move on?
No, I want to know your technique.
Well, basically, you just want to know. You want to.
Yeah. You don't want any.
So you want
extra
them to be spread, basically.
Yeah.
So using the belt really works well, because then you can one hand it, and you can. I don't feel like I'm making this clear.
I think one thing that I'm mindful of when I do the outdoor nature poos is I will take off the jeans, riding trousers, riding shorts, and underwear. I will remove them totally out of the way, because I've just got this.
Safe than sorry,
Yeah, I would hate to just just shit straight in there. That would be the
yeah.
worst. Yeah.
You just know you've got it on you. I'm not really squeamish,
Yeah.
but it would be really a day ruiner. That, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Okay, let's move on. Sheardy, is there a topic or subject about which you know more than you don't know? So you know more about something than you don't know.
I'm instantly trying to think of the simplest of topics, so that there is a chance that I might know more than I don't know.
I don't know anything. I don't know anything about anything.
No, I feel the same. I'm
I don't
trying
know
to.
anything.
What about?
I know a lot about underwear. Genuinely, like I can talk about underwear pretty good these days.
So you think you know more about underwear than, but then even like the material process.
There's a lot of there's a lot. Yeah, you're right. There's so much more to it. Yeah, ignore me. I don't know anything about anything.
We must, but let's just.
As anyone would know if you've listened to any of these episodes, like.
True. Think about something really. Let's try and work on this. Let's think about something really simple. But the thing is, you can always go into more detail than you know.
Yeah, you can keep unpacking stuff forever.
What about an action that's really simple? Cutting a piece of wood. You understand it. You understand that.
Yeah, but I don't understand how the tree was first formed, or
yeah. See, there you go.
The fibres that are involved in that, the molecular makeup of the tree.
No, yeah.
The force for the wood. It just keeps going forever, doesn't it? So
I would say I'm smart enough to know I'm dumb. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I'm useless, but I'm smart enough to know that I actually am not. I am dumb.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, mate. That's a nice one. Big fan of that.
We're smart enough that we know that we don't know.
Smart enough to know that I don't know anything.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good place to be in life. If you start thinking you know everything, then no one wants to be around those people, do they?
No.
It's tough.
Here's a great question. Here's a fantastic one. One for you, Ollie, I think.
Ooh.
James J. Baxter. I'm getting my first e-bike. For a first ride, would you go for a bike park day or a wild ride?
That is a really great question. I would say go somewhere where you've always wanted to explore, but it's just always been too steep, too much hassle. There's paths there that you don't want to risk going up in case it goes nowhere. Adventure somewhere. That's where I would say an e-bike has got to be the most exciting, fun thing.
I think the bike park is not the one for the e-bike,
No.
personally. There's a reason that, it depends what bike park you're going to, but there's probably going to be an uplift or something. It's not the one. The e-bike is not the one. Go for a wild ride. That's a cool one, actually. Just ride outside your house and just head out and just go exploring. Find some shit you've never ridden before.
Yeah.
That, again, like you say, it's too steep sometimes, or you don't want to do multiple runs of whatever. Yeah. That's where you're going to really benefit from having the e-bike.
Oh, the dream, yeah. I'm so excited for it. But what was his name?
So good. James.
I'm
James
really
Baxter.
excited for James. I think James is going to have quite a time. I think go from the door. Maybe go on a map, look for somewhere steep, a bit of forest that you've never explored. All of those things, they're so good for that, because you just don't have to worry that you're going up the wrong path and it's a dead end. You just turn around and go up the next one. Yes, James.
Agree, totally.
Have a good
Yes,
time.
James. Keep us posted on your first e-bike. Please let us tag us in some stuff. Let's see what you get up to on your first ever ride out.
Yes.
At Ash Crow. Dream 2-car garage.
Ooh.
Nice one. 2-car. So we're not using vans. We're going to go with cars on this one. Okay, I got one already, actually. I watched a advert earlier for the new Ford Raptor, and it looked really cool.
Nice. The new Ford Raptor. Okay, yeah.
I don't usually get drawn in by stuff like that, but I was like, I kind of like the look of that thing. That's pretty cool. I'd like one of those. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
It's the American one as well, so it'd have to be a left-hand drive one. Proper spec.
Yeah.
Not because the UK, I think sometimes they get palmed off with this like shitty spec. And I know what you're doing now because you're Googling, so you're going to come correct with something crazy that no one's heard of. It's going to be like some Fiat from 1930 that you really want.
I wasn't. I was actually going to look at the Raptor.
Okay, yeah, the new Ford Raptor. I don't know if it's like a new style or whatever, but I just loved like how the dash was in it. It just looked so comfy and just fun. So I'm gonna throw that in there.
Okay, I like that.
Thank you.
It does look. It would be nice to just get in and not have ice on the inside. The G is very guilty of that. I have ice on the inside at the moment. I've learned a way to park it in the drive that gets the least ice on the driver's side.
Okay.
It sounds stupid, but like when it's north, whatever's faces north gets way more ice. It's like thick ice. So. The G is one of my dream cars, but that's boring, isn't it? So that's gonna change. I'd really like a 964 turbo, like early 90s.
Ooh, nice.
You know, an old Porsche. Then
Classic.
Yeah, I've always wanted one. I don't know. They look like Frog Wellington boots. I can just imagine a Sunday afternoon drive. I would also really like a Citroen Mahari.
There you go. I knew it was coming. I knew there's something coming from out there. It was coming from way back there.
I mean, this changes weekly, but a Citroen Mahari is a type of Citroen 2CV. I've always been into Citroens. I used to have a Citroen HY van.
Wow, look at that thing.
You like the Mahari? So Mahari's it's actually a 2CV chassis and engine. And then the body is actually fiberglass, and all of them used to fade, so they just look fucked instantly. And
there's a newish one. There's a new version.
Yes, but it has no. Citroen have done the worst at Citroen of all the brands have done the worst at using the names of classic cars, like the DS. The DS Palace is like one of my favourite all-time cars, the Citroen DS. You see the DS now is one of the worst cars I've ever seen in my entire life. It's awful. You know, whereas Fiat with the 500, they've remade it. It's not my cup of tea, but I can see how they've thrown back to an old design. It's cool. It's, you know.
And the new one's electric by the looks of things as well.
Yeah.
Mahari it's called. Yeah, horrible. Get fucked. Move on.
But the old Mahari is quite something.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
So that's two shit cars that won't start in the cold. Well done, Ollie.
Yeah.
Nice one, mate.
Well done, Ollie. Yeah, well done, Ollie. I've always had this joke about having a Lamborghini, and I'm just going to keep it on there because I'm just trying.
Dude, yeah.
One day we're having a Lamborghini parked outside the podcast studio, and it's not for any other reason than it's been a thing that I've just wanted to have just since I've been a kid. I'd just have it, and I'd get rid of it within a few months, but I'd have just ticked that little box off.
It's your version of the jet ski, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's just a bit. Yeah, you've still got the jet ski, haven't you?
I have. Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Where is it?
In a car park somewhere.
Still in Rogate.
I'll get it back. I will. I must remember to bring that to my home. Very high on my list. I've always wanted one.
Yeah, you got one.
That'd be like you with the Lamborghini. You're just going to leave it there. It's going to be covered in moss.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot I had that. Where is it? Oh shit.
Exactly.
Oh dear.
Exactly. Good question though.
Okay.
2-car garage. Love it.
Yes.
Mine changes regularly, I would say.
Does it? Mine doesn't, because I'm just not bothered.
Yeah, I really love
I know you are. I used to be, but I'm really not fussed anymore. It's just whatever. I mean, the Vito's tough at the moment. It's a tough drive. We need it's the pulley, a timing belt pulley, cam belt, timing belt, whatever, pulley. It happened on the way to the Bike Park Wales actually for the Christmas ride.
What? And you're still running it with?
It's just loud. It's just loud. Yeah, this is a problem. This is a problem when your dad's a mechanic. Like he's just like, can you look at this? And he's like, yeah, I'll sort it one day.
Yeah, I bet you're low down the list, aren't you? Yeah.
Low down the list, he's low down. And I think it's like a bit of a job, so my dad's just trying to avoid it at the moment. So, yeah, it's just loud. It's just loud. We'll get it figured out.
Sorry to hear it.
All right. At T Lancaster, World Cup racing is fast approaching. What different content / rider stories would you want to see? It's a great question.
Great question. I'm going to get back on BK's
I hope that
nuts.
Discovery... Yeah, back on BK's nuts for sure. I hope that the Discovery and stuff just do a better job at telling, like, just rider stories and, like, get the helmets off these people. Let's see what they're actually about in the broadcast. Let's see some BTS footage. Let's see some training footage. Let's hear more interviews that makes you like resonate with these characters more, because I think although vlogs and stuff do a good job, it's impossible to keep a track on everyone's vlog. If they just did something, Supercross do a pretty good job of it. You know, you see some of the behind the scenes stuff, you see testing footage. Like, I just want to see, I want to like know more about these athletes than just here they are with a helmet on going down a hill.
You want to show for your money, don't you? You want to show.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
And also, go on, sorry.
Well, no, I was just going to say I really enjoy BK's ones, and they're not a great deal of effort, really, for him. And, you know, it feels like he's taking you along with him. So I think Hardline proved this year that, like, it is what the riders put out that is the interesting bit, and it's like that the rider's angle. So without giving every World Cup racer too much work to do, you know,
it does make a difference.
It does.
You know, it makes you really resonate with these people. But I think the broadcast company need to get on board with that more and do like features on people. Yeah. Let's see like behind the scenes. Let's have a day with BK before the races or whatever it could be, just to tell more of a story and just get you more invested in these people. It's good having a horse in the race. You know.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Imagine if you got like throughout the season you've got 10 horses in the race because you're like, fuck, this guy seems, or this girl seems really cool. I really want to ride with them. Yeah, you're just getting more horses in the race, and and also we've made a little bit of an advance on supporting someone for next year. I think we're gonna look at doing 61st place, and I think it's 31st in women. Maybe more to come on that. We're trying to iron out the details behind the scenes. I'm doing something. Okay. Hamish Child, what is the worst / hardest trick that you've ever tried?
What is it for you?
Oh, it's silly though, because I'm not really a trick guy.
No, it's good. It's good.
But I remember when they first started becoming a bit of a thing was crank flips, and I remember trying a few and just wrecking my shins and being like, "Yep, done. I'm over this shit. I don't need to do crank flips at all. Like, they just hurt."
I'm gonna put it out there that crank flips, dope or nope, it's a nope from me.
It's a nope from me.
It never looks cool, even when the coolest, like Andreu does them sometimes, and he's like the coolest rider, the most steezy. I still just would rather he didn't do them. I never like a crank flip. I never like the look of it or anything.
I think it was just one of those that I thought, oh, that'd be kind of cool just to like be able to just do, like you say, just every now and again you start a little crank flip, you know, you hop over something, a little crank flip, and then I wrecked my shins that many times, and I thought, even though my shins are pretty numb, it was still hurting, you know. I don't need this shit in my life anymore.
Yeah, I hear you. I find anything opposite. So opposite spins for me. I've done them quite a bit in the past, but I always feel I'm really like, I guess, right-handed, not the opposite of ambidextrous. So I just feel my whole body feels weak when I come in from an opposite spin. It's such a horrible feeling for me, which is weird, isn't it? You wouldn't have thought it'd be. So opposite spins, I really, really struggled with opposite spins. Tail whips were so painful as well, like they'd smash into
anything shinny.
Yeah, in it, yeah.
I remember when we were younger, we had this set of dirt jumps called Hobo, and me and two friends were trying to learn threes, and I never could do it. I never got a three, I don't think. Not smooth anyway. I landed a few, but like nothing special. And we built this step up with a landing, but like all around it was just gorse bushes. Yeah. And then for the whole day, we were just like flailing off our bike, landing in a gorse bush, and then like just trying to pick things out of you all day. Oh, it was the worst day, dude. It was the worst. I just remembered about that now. It's so stupid.
Bar spins I found very difficult as well. I wasn't ever very good at them, and it was because I was throwing with my right hand, and you're meant to throw. You're meant to throw with the hand that you have your front foot. So whatever your front foot is, if you're regular, it's your left foot. If you're goofy, it's your right foot. You're meant to throw with that hand, and it's meant to balance it out or something. So
you see, you naturally go the other way, right?
Yeah. So I'm meant to throw with my left hand, and I always used to do it with my right, and my bike was completely unstable underneath me. So I found bar spins very difficult as well. I don't do them because they never looked cool. They're always so out of control. Maybe I should try and learn them. Get some Pokemon cards.
Bring bar spins back. Yeah, bring bar spins back.
Who knows?
FHR.RD. Who will win the Super Bowl? Do you want me to take this? So I stayed. It's Monday morning when we're recording this. Tried to stay up all night last night to watch both the championship games, and I struggled. I got through the first one, which was the 49ers against Philadelphia Eagles. It was a tough game to watch, dude. It's interesting though because the Niners were on their fourth quarterback, which was basically meaning they were bringing a receiver into the quarterback position.
Right.
They'd run out of players. Like, they were done. It was game over. So they had their first string was out, second string was out, third string got a concussion.
Oh, really?
And then they actually brought back the second string.
So the quarterback is the thrower.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the thrower. So
I'm really
Brock
not
Purdy
clued up. I've
was
never watched a game or anything. Yeah.
So Brock Purdy was the 49ers quarterback this season. He played 6 games. It was a rookie. His first ever 6 games in the NFL. Won all 6 of them. Took the Niners to the championship game. The championship game is the game before the Super Bowl. So you win that, you go to the Super Bowl. And first play of the game yesterday, hurt his elbow, out. They bring in the third string quarterback. He gets the concussion, and then they were like, we're literally out of players. Like, what are we doing? We're gonna have to bring in a receiver who has to swap his helmet so he's got the earpiece. Obviously, probably never not thrown a ball probably forever, but thankfully he didn't have to. They brought Purdy back with the elbow injury, and he was just like handing the ball, just trying to get the run game going. Anyway, NFL shit. But yeah, it looks so it's Kansas City versus the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. And for me, it's going to have to be Kansas City. It's tough to go against Patrick Mahomes. He played yesterday with a high ankle sprain and was still balling out of control.
And is this the quarterback as well?
Yeah.
So the quarterback
Patrick
is a
Mahomes.
really giant part of the game, is it? So they're like
Definitely.
the player that you refer to, kind of.
Yeah, definitely. And Kansas City have just got weapons all over the field as well. They just got like Travis Kelce. They're balling. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Patrick Mahomes to win a Super Bowl of the Kansas City Chiefs.
There you go.
Me and my friend, we're going to an American bar to watch the Super Bowl. It should be fun.
No.
We're going to go American bar. We got a table and it's all like food and shit. It's going to be fun, man. That's the February the 12th.
Oh, that sounds rad. That's well good.
Yeah. T Ferg Ooh. Any tips for riding through mud that sticks to tyres so badly that they can't turn? I got one tip for you there, T Fergu.
I know what it is.
Yeah, don't bloody bother. Stay at home. Don't bother. Like, what are we doing? This is it's the worst. We've got gloopy mud here at the moment as well. It's we've had all the snow and ice and it's like defrosted and the trails now are just this thick, gloopy, slippy.
It's got bad.
Sticks to everything.
Yeah.
Mud.
I think I really consider it when I think about where I'm going riding, and like there are spots near me. I don't know if it's the same as you, but obviously there are sandier spots, aren't there? Even if you live in a clay area.
Yeah, we got a few. Yeah.
I just try and head over there, but it is really tough. It is like it's been some of the worst actually. This ice. I don't remember dealing with this sort of like level of thawing, but it's really crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's gnarly out there at the moment. Yeah. We did a ride on Thursday and it was only quite a short ride and I got back and I'm like, oh, look at the state of everything. Like everything just caked in mud, like caked as well, thick. Oh,
it's a horrible feeling, that tyre dragging feeling. But panic not, we're on our way out of it, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure.
Every day is when we won't have to do it again.
Yep. Okay, at Explosive Club. Got my first ride abroad this summer. Any tips on packing a bike for flying, please? I don't have any. Ollie?
So, panic not. If you don't have a bike bag, don't worry about it. They do make life easier, but a box does the job. Take your mech off. Scratch little lines in your bars so that the bike feels the same when you get there. So I always have I just literally get an Allen key and scratch your stem and your bars so that when you put your bars in, you know exactly where it's going is the same, because there's nothing worse than having your bars slightly off and then you can't work out why your bike feels weird. You're on holiday, you want to get straight to it, jump straight on your bike and feel at home. So I would say that. Don't worry about letting your suspension down. Don't worry about letting your tyres down. If they ask you if your tyre's down, just say yes. It's no big deal. Don't worry about... There's lots of things that you're told to worry about. You don't need to worry about them. What other good things are there that you can do? When you take your pedals off, make sure they're not just loose in the box. Anything that is going to nice smash into your bike, make sure it's just wrapped or something, bubble wrap, whatever you can find. When you take your bars off, I actually have started now just taking the stem off rather than taking the bars out the stem. But whatever you do, just think worst case scenario. So if you've got your headset, just think the top cap's going to fall off. It's going to come out the corner of the box or out of the zip of the bike bag, and then you're not going to be able to find a shop. Just think a bit like that, you know. Think like worst case scenario, whatever you do, I would say.
Because the airlines, they ain't give a shit.
No one cares. Yeah, no one cares.
They don't give a shit what a bike it is. It's your favourite, you know, that you've spent 10 grand on this bike, whatever. They don't give a shit. They just want it on that plane and off that plane as fast as possible.
Dude, this is so exciting. You're going away. You don't want this trip away, your valuable time and your money. You want it to all be spent on having fun. So just remove any of those sort of things. Don't worry about letting tyres down and stuff, but worry about fucking up a mech and not being able to get a new hanger. I would say that's fairly good advice, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's brilliant advice, mate, to be honest. I think that's going to make a great clip as well. So that's really good. Couple more?
Let's do a couple more.
At @low_Kichi. What animal would be good for the trails other than a dog? That's a great question. So we all talk about having trail dogs, but what other animal would be good? I reckon a kestrel would be pretty dope. Like you could go it up.
Yes. Kez. I love the idea of you riding with a kestrel hovering above, like your spirit animal. Yeah, man.
Just following you down the trails with a goey on, like chest cam. Or breast cam, it'd be on a bird, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's good. You're on it today, yeah.
That's two, actually.
That is two, yeah, that is good.
That's two.
The kestrel camera would be incredible, wouldn't it? And you could get him to get different angles. You could do like side-on ones, and I think you might.
I like the kestrel as a trail animal.
It's brilliant.
Imagine if someone saw you out and they were like, "That kestrel's around." I'm like, "Yeah, it's me, Trail Kez."
It's Trail
Kestrel.
Oh, it'd be so good. You get to the bottom of each run and it just comes and lands on the shoulder. You might have nailed it in one there.
That could be the one. That could be the one.
That is pretty good. I was going to say an emu because it could run ahead and check for low branches, but that's a bit cruel, isn't it? That's just sort of like a sacrificial emu.
Have you seen that viral clip that goes around of that guy walking that emu down the street? You must have seen it.
I don't think I have. No.
You must have seen it. And those lads are in a van and they shout something to him like, "What the fuck are you doing with that?" And he's like, "Have you seen that?"
No.
Please, people must have seen it. Oh, mate, I'll find it for you.
What do they shout? Emu wanker.
Oh, mate, it is the funniest thing. It is so funny.
All right, we'll put the clip
and
in now.
the guy's like, yeah. That's so funny. Oh, I'm trying to think how I could find it. I'll find it and I'll send it.
That'd be me with my trail emu.
Yeah, and the guy's like, "It's a fucking emu," like that. It's so funny, mate. Oh,
good question.
Okay,
I tell you what.
Let's end on this one. This is a great. Go on. Sorry.
No. I want to hear it.
Okay.
Excited.
Excuse me. Mr. Hercliffe, would you have an e-bike if you had to pay for them? That's a great question. That is a great question. Oh,
100%.
There's a few good ones here, actually, man. We could just do a couple quick fire ones after as well.
Let's do it. I would 100% have one. There are days where I'm just not going to get out unless I go out on my e-bike. So, yeah, for me, it's a big yes. What about you?
What's funny is you can almost, with me, you can track my e-bike process. So it wasn't that long ago. It was in COVIDial times that I went on my first ever e-bike ride. I was very lucky that Focus sent one, and I documented the whole process. I was like, right, this is it. I've been ignoring this for so long, and I didn't want to surrender to it. And I made a whole vlog series about riding it for the first time and this and that. And now, especially with the e-bike, the battery technology, the SL that you ride as well. I mean, if you had to choose like one bike garage, it's close between that and a standard Jam.
Is it? Yeah.
It's close.
It's getting closer.
Yeah.
It is definitely getting closer.
Yeah, because it's just so fun. It's so fun.
Yeah.
I know it would reduce, probably would reduce your ride time a little bit if you want to go on a long, if you want to collect those Ks for the Top Trumps card. But it's, man, but biking's got to be fun, and it makes it more fun, So, yeah, it's up there, man, for sure. What about you? You same?
Yeah, in my 3-bike garage, I've got to have an e-bike. In my 1-bike garage, I'm still going to have a normal bike, an acoustic. Okay. But it's getting forever closer with, as you say, battery technology, SL, motors. I mean, the difference is less. So, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we've got at Dom Wolcott. Tips for regular riding routine to fit around family and running 2 businesses. I think... Okay, Dom. Regular riding routine. So that, you've basically said the thing there, regular riding routine, which means you need to make regular time for it, which means that something's got to give. Okay? So you've got a family, you've got 2 businesses, but they need to understand that this is something that you need to do for your mental and spiritual health and physical health. So you've just got to carve out the time, dude. Like, it's as simple as that. If it means getting up at 5 a.m. to go for a pedal, and it's going to benefit you in the long run, then do that. Night riding's great. I think lights are pretty good these days. I don't night ride myself. It's not really my thing. But if you're struggling to get out in the day when it's light, then there you go. You got to. It depends. I think you just got to make time. And I think, hopefully, for anyone out there is time available. You probably can't. It's not sustainable. You probably can't do it every day. You probably can't, every day carve out 2 hours to go for a ride. Yeah. But I think once or twice a week it should be possible to be like, right now I'm going to take 2 hours off work today. I'm going to work a little bit later in the evening, especially at the moment when the nights are drawing in. Nights are pretty early. It's 5 o'clock. It's dark. Do a little bit of work then. That's kind of how I structure my days. I know we've gone into this a few times, but I try and carve out time in the afternoon when it's light to do fun stuff. And when it's dark, you can't do shit. That's when I'm going to do the work stuff and whatnot. And I know I'm lucky that I have the ability to do that. But I think as well, right? I think things have changed a lot in the last couple of years, and company bosses, if they're nice people as well, are more open to the idea of you saying, look, I need this for my mental health, and I'll be a better worker if you just give me a little bit of time off in the day to go for a bike ride. If you work at home especially, you should be able to do that. So yeah, different for everyone, but also what you've said there about regular riding routine is you need to make it a routine that you get up or you go out late at night or carve out some time in the day. Shit answer. Hopefully there's something there that you can take and run with.
No, it's not. I reckon it's good. I feel like I can't answer without sounding like a knob personally, because I've obviously, I'm a sport brat when it comes to that. But I would say that there are other things that it's very easy for me to go, oh, I'd love to read more. I just don't have the time. And it's like you do have to make time. If you really want to do something, you have to make time. And
I think biking can be a hard one because it is a I don't know where you live, maybe it is a 10-minute, 20-minute drive to get to the trails. There's certain things that at the moment I'm doing. It's like reading's a great example. Playing the piano at the moment for me is a good example. I'm finding time every day to do it. Yeah. But it's easy to sit at a piano, like just play for 10 minutes. It's not easy to go for a ride for 10 minutes because it's going to be shit. But you just carve out a bit more time.
Most unhelpful 2 dudes ever, I reckon, on that.
Yeah, I think so. Any comments from people below, like in the comment section, would be really helpful for Dom. That'd be great. I think that's it. There's a few more, but I think we're good at that.
There's always so many. I love the listener questions. Keep them coming in. Thank you very much for joining us. This has been The Ride Companion, episode 82. No one cares about the numbers, but we just like to keep track of things.
We
Is
do.
that fair?
We do. We're on track. Yeah. Thank you to everyone who continues supporting the podcast. We'd love to actually just quickly. We got some merch. There's a few T-shirts left in large of the Troy Lee. We made an error. D3 helmet tee, not a D4 like we thought it was. It's a
Doesn't
D3.
it say D4 on the inside?
Apparently, it's a D3.
Didn't you check?
It's a D3.
Okay.
It's a D3.
Useless guys.
Alright, it's a D3, folks, but it's still a sick prize, obviously.
Absolutely.
So if you want to win that helmet, all you got to do is buy a shirt.
Large
we
as
were
well.
going to do another drop. We got a couple. There's like one, I think, actually. It's actually in a bag here. And then we might do another drop before we announce the winner of the Troy Lee D3 custom wrapped helmet. And then we'll do another one after. We'll get another helmet after. We'll do something else, maybe.
Love it.
Boy.
I love the raffle tee.
Yeah, the raffle tee's cool, man. Yeah, that's it, I think.
Well, thanks for
Thank you,
listening, everyone.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks,
comment,
David.
like, subscribe, unsubscribe, like again, comment
Peace
again.
and love.
Share it with your friends. It's all
Check
good.
yourself before you wreck yourself. Eat your vegetables. Don't litter. Peace.